Bomber tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news: a Grand Bahama family who was recently touched by violence is speaking out tonight and appealing for peace. Sabrina Brown has that story.
Flanked by his parents Emil and Jessica Jarrett and youth leaders Darren Roll and Dudley Said, 19-year-old Emil Jarrett Jr., who was violently attacked while in the Port Lucaya marketplace on Labor Day, says he's grateful to be alive. His father Emil Sr., recounting the dreadful incident, says his son was beaten by a group of young men, and just when he thought it was over,
the attacker came back with a very sharp instrument and cut him from the center of his head, fractured the skull, going straight through the eyeball, cutting the eyelid and down to his cheek. And right in Port Lucaya Square. And there's blood all over. Tourists were running for their lives. They didn't know what was happening. And fortunately, we were able to, the EMS got there and was able to stop the bleeding. And
Emil Sr. says they immediately made a decision to have their son airlifted to Florida for further medical care.
We performed a 5-hour surgery on his eye and on his hand. His fingers were almost cut off. He had deep lacerations to his finger. They had to sew up the tendons. They had to sew up the very eyeball. And he has several other surgeries, and he's traveling again this week for follow-up treatment for the next 6 months. And hopefully, we're hoping that he'll save his eye.
He and his wife Jessica are calling for an end to the senseless violent acts, and they're appealing to the victim and those who may know of his whereabouts to do the right thing.
We're asking whether it's the parents or friends of the person, the attacker, to let him come in so that the law can take its course.
If you're going to go out there and do wrong, there are always consequences for your action, whether it is good or bad. There are always going to be consequences. So at the end of the day, you have to make the right choices for your life. And today is my son, but tomorrow it might be your son.
The victim, Emil Jr., who recently came home from college for summer break, says his recovery is nothing short of a miracle.
I want to give God thanks because there's many that got hit. Like I got hit and they didn't make it. So I just want to thank God for that. I also want to extend my thankfulness and my gratefulness to the community. They've shown their love. They've offered up their prayers.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Two prominent youth leaders on Grand Bahama are also calling for an end to the violence among young people. Director of the Falcons Boys Club, Darren Roll, is hoping for a peaceful resolution in Jarrett's matter.
Help any young man in the community of Grand Bahama that is looking for someone to be able to talk to, someone to be able to guide them. And again, I am thankful to God that Mr. Jarrett's son did not lose his life. For those of us who've had an opportunity to actually see the graphic picture of his face posted across the internet, we are thankful to God that the persons at Bascom Palmer, where he went in the United States of America, was able to help sustain him where he is thus far. We pray for his continued healing.
Founder of Reach Out Youth Ministry, Dudley Said, who was once a victim of crime, says he was stabbed 7 times and shot once. He says having turned his life around, he knows that forgiveness is key.
Jarrett family is here today to say that they forgive their young man. And I think that's the reason why they asked us to be here today, to tell the young man, you made a bad choice, but today we come here in forgiveness to ask you, to think. You might be in your quiet place right now. Pray and ask God to give you strength to turn yourself in. If you need someone to help you to turn yourself in, you could call me, and I'll go with you to the police station.
Now, police on Grand Bahama are searching for Harris Osley Martinez, age 20, of West End and Holmes Rock, Grand Bahama, who is wanted for causing grievous harm. He stands at 5 feet 11 inches tall, slim-built, with a light brown complexion. He was last seen at the Port Lucaya Marketplace and is considered extremely dangerous and is to be approached with extreme caution. If seen, you are to contact the police at the Central Detective Unit at telephone numbers 350-3089, 350-3109, or 1-911-919, or call your nearest police station. A resident of Churchill Road, South Bohemia, hauled before the court today on 2 counts of attempted murder. 26-year-old Cordero Wilmot appearing before Magistrate Debbie Ferguson. He was not required to enter a plea and was remanded to prison. A preliminary inquiry into the matter will commence on July 9th. The charges are in connection with 2 shooting incidents that occurred in the Garden Villas area on Saturday, June 7th. In the first incident, a man was shot in the leg. The other victim sustained a gunshot wound to the stomach. Wilmot was represented by attorney Simeon Brown. A local organization has been helping young men from various islands around the Bahamas for the past 15 years. The House of Hoops and Dreams Ministry assists young men in reaching their dreams through the avenue of sports. And tonight, the president is sharing her story of giving back. President of the House of Hoops and Dreams, Bonnie Baston, has opened her home to young men across the Bahamas in order to help them reach their academic and athletic goals. She says her goal is to nurture young athletes as they become men of integrity who value spiritual, mental, and physical growth.
Provide a home environment that nurtures the academic and athletic needs of the boys as they complete high school and work towards fulfilling their dreams. The hoops our boys face are not only in basketball and athletics, but also in the challenging hoops they face as they rise above disadvantages and hope to reach their full potential. We are developing the next generation of honorable leaders, stewards of faith, lifelong leaders, and active members in this society.
While many young men often fall to peer pressure in society, Baston says she constantly reminds her boys to put God first, focus on their future, and always work hard to achieve their goals. She says for many, this opportunity is a major break.
A lot of the boys before they came, when they came to me initially, never dreamt of going to college, never dreamt of playing basketball or running track and field before a large audience and a large crowd. And just to have the opportunity to go off to school and play at another level and participate in track and field or whatever sport they desire at another level is a big accomplishment for the boys.
Jay Philippe, whom once lived with Baston, now has his master's degree and helps to mentor young men on the island. He says Baston's ministry played a great factor in reaching his goals.
It's been perhaps the best transition I've made so far in my 26 years coming to Grand Bahama from Nassau. I'm having a broader perspective on life and meeting new friends and coaches, just building friendships, most importantly, and trying to get me to where I'm trying to go.
Baston says she has had many success stories over the years and is most proud when she sees her boys not only reach their goals, but sow back into the community.
It's all about giving back, and I've learned that from being around Bonnie Baston. She's given a tremendous amount of help to others, including myself, and I was able to pick up those traits from her and be able to transform them in my own way and be able to help others in any way possible.
It is truly gratifying. There are a lot of hoops along the way, but it's truly gratifying that when I see young boys that thought that they wouldn't even graduate from high school are actually in college, the first boy in their family, the first member of their family to actually go to college and to go on college on a scholarship. You know, that's the gratifying part of it. And also to see when they come back and they sow back into this ministry, the same ministry that they grew up in.
Bonnie says she gives all credit to God for the success over the years, along with the church, Sunland School, and community members. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues after this.